Shaman Jeff here at the Village Mystic. We've got a good week planned for you, lots of stuff coming up. We've got our anomaly stones, we've got our ancient skulls, we've got our cards picked out. Your job is to figure out which crystals you feel drawn to. Of course, I'm wearing my Ancient Aliens live shirt from when Don and I were VIPs at their event. Today's crystals, the first one out is tangerine quartz. Interesting stone. This piece came out of Brazil. Neat energy. Our second stone out, one of my favorite stones, is Charite. Comes out of Russia. Very neat stone to play with. The Guardian is easily accessible, and we've got a class coming up on how to access the guardians of these crystals. And last but not least, beautiful piece of Paraíba tourmaline. One of my personal pieces, always proud of this piece. Tonight, take a deep breath. Give up everything you're thinking in this moment and see where you feel pulled. See what direction you're being drawn in. If you're being drawn to the tangerine quartz, perhaps you're being drawn to the Charite, very mystical stone. Or you may be drawn to the Paraíba tourmaline, very rare, hard to get. Which way do you feel pulled? Tonight, if you were drawn to the tangerine quartz, the card underneath it is the otter. When I go through and I ask the guides what cards would be most relevant for the energies of the week, we're at the 5-5 portal. And so we're at a time of change, but we can get so caught up in thinking of the change, and we can get so caught up in what energies we're putting out that we forget that we're also supposed to have fun. And the otter, when it comes into our life, you think about how playful the otters are, how much fun they're having. And of course, the tangerine quartz is a reflection and a reminder to have fun. Your path is supposed to be enjoyable. You're not to be so serious that you're not enjoying life. Life is short. If you feel like you were drawn to the Charite, underneath it is the card of the Rainbow Prince. This is a card that's challenging you as to how firmly do you believe in your path? How firmly do you believe in what you're creating in life? Because if you're halfway believing, you're halfway creating. Doubt, fear, worry, lack are always going to be the negatives that are keeping us from manifesting everything we want to manifest in our life. And the Creator wants us to manifest those things. But in order to do that, we need to believe in the path we're on. And Charite is a stone of being in the path of service. And when you access the Guardian, they can give you information as to how to maintain that spiritual path that we all should be on. We're spiritual and we're physical, but so many times the physical can interfere with our spiritual aspects. And so we want to be in the path of service. If you were drawn to the Paraiba tourmaline, the card underneath it is the King of Wands. This is the all-purpose king. This is what I call the intellectual king. This king can take on the energies of the King of Hearts or the King of Cups. It can have that big heart energy, yet this king's going to have the boundaries to rise it above that just solid King of Hearts that's always going to be that loving energy that's jumping through hoops to make everybody else happy. This is the logical king. This is the king who can also be good with money if he chooses to be good with money, if that's where he applies his energy. So he can be the King of Pentacles, and he can be the King of Swords, setting his boundaries. So it entraps all of the other kings in this one king. And the Paraiba tourmaline has that kind of power. Tourmaline in itself goes right to the heart. And when you have the blue, it's about communication. When you have the green, it's about healing the heart itself. Dawn, did you have anything to add tonight?
Yes, and interesting because I was drawn to both the Charoite and the Paraiba tourmaline. So we'll have to discuss later how those two play together. But I just wanted to let everyone know that our new website is live. We still are doing some tweaks to it. We have to format the mobile version, but on the desktop, we think it looks great. We're running a 20% off sterling silver jewelry for Mother's Day online. So you guys can access that and shop for Mom on Wednesday at around 5 o'clock. We're going to be going live on Instagram. We'll have crystals, carvings, and jewelry, a little bit of jewelry. Then this weekend is Mother's Day weekend, and we're having our Mother's Day market. So stay tuned. For those of you who have signed up for our text messages, you'll get a little preview of what we'll be having on sale, but we're planning some really good things on Saturday. So, and also too, I wanted to point out, if any of you guys have questions of any of these cards that you want Shaman Jeff to answer, just send us a DM and he'll do his best to answer as many questions as he can. So that's it. We're gearing up for a busy week, so we're excited.
A lot of good things happening. We're working on a lot of things to help everybody out and to work with others. Wish you create a beautiful week for yourself. Enjoy the holidays. This is Shaman Jeff from the Village Mystic with the ancient crystal skulls, the anomaly stone, 17,000 years old, #1 artifact ever on Ancient Aliens. Create a beautiful week for yourself. I am out.